He walks into the same store twice. The first time, he is wearing worn clothes, faded jacket, old shoes. He browses for 7 minutes. Nobody approaches him. A security guard shifts position twice to keep him in eye line. When he finally reaches the counter, the cashier does not smile. She processes the transaction in silence and hands back the change without making contact. The second time, he walks into the exact same store. Same man, same face, different clothes. A fitted jacket, clean shoes, a watch that catches the light. He has not taken 3 steps before a staff member appears beside him. "Can I help you find something?" The smile is immediate. The attention is total. He buys less than he did the first visit. He is treated like he is worth 10 times more. Nothing changed except what he was wearing. And that is the most important social experiment nobody is talking about. Because the way the world treats you is not based on who you are. It is based on what you look like you have. And that treatment, that invisible judgment that happens in every room, every store, every conversation, changes completely depending on where you sit on the wealth ladder. Today we are going through every level. And by the end of this video, you will never walk into a room the same way again. Level 1. He looks broke. The world decides he is invisible. He is not actually broke. He has a job. He pays his bills. But his clothes say otherwise. And the world does not wait for context. In the store, the security guard watches him. Not obviously, not aggressively, just enough. Eyes that follow without following. A body that repositions without appearing to reposition. He feels it before he can name it. The specific discomfort of being suspected of something he has not done and will not do. At the restaurant, he is seated near the kitchen. Not the worst table, just not the good one. The one near the back where the noise from the kitchen covers conversation and the light is slightly worse. The waiter takes his order and does not return to check on him the way he returns to the table in the window. When he speaks, people do not lean in. They give him the polite attention of someone waiting for their turn to speak. His ideas land differently. His suggestions get acknowledged and then quietly set aside. He says the same thing a wealthy man will say 2 levels from now and receive a completely different response. Here is what most people at level 1 never realize. The treatment is not personal. It is automatic. The people doing it are not cruel. They are running a social program so deeply embedded they cannot see it operating. The security guard does not decide to watch him. The waiter does not decide to seat him badly. It just happens. Invisibly. Constantly. In every room he walks into. And the cost is not just discomfort. The cost is cumulative. Every room that treats him like a risk. Every conversation that dismisses him before he finishes. Every interaction that confirms the same thing. You do not belong here, at least not yet. That accumulation shapes how he sees himself, what he believes is possible, how much space he allows himself to take up in any room. The world is telling him something about himself. And the worst part is how easy it is to believe it. Level 2. He upgrades slightly. The world upgrades its judgment. Barely. He gets a better job, buys cleaner clothes. Nothing expensive, just newer. And something shifts in how rooms receive him. The security guard still watches him, but now the watch happens once and stops. The assumption of suspicion has been replaced by the assumption of neutrality. He has crossed from threat into background. It is not respect, but it is an absence of hostility that he did not have before and that he notices because of its contrast. The waiter seats him in the middle of the restaurant now. Not the window, not the kitchen, the middle. The invisible geography of how establishments rank their customers by appearance has placed him exactly in the center. Acceptable enough to be seen, not valuable enough to be featured. People engage with him more. Not warmly, but correctly. They answer his questions directly. They do not look past him while he is talking. He has entered the category of person who receives functional respect, the kind given to someone who has demonstrated they belong in the room, even if they are not the most important person in it. But here's the thing nobody tells him at level 2. He can feel the ceiling. He knows there are people in every room being treated differently than he is. He watches it happen. The way the manager comes out from the back to greet a certain customer. The way the waiter laughs genuinely at a certain table. The way certain people are offered things that never appear on any menu he has seen. He is no longer invisible, but he is not seen either. And that middle space, acknowledged but not valued, is its own particular kind of limitation. Level 3. He looks comfortable. The world starts performing for him. This is where something new happens, and it surprises him every time. People start being nice to him. Not correct, not neutral. Actually nice. The store staff asks if he found everything he needed. The restaurant host remembers his name on the second visit. The person at the counter makes a small joke and waits for his response, because his response now matters. He has not changed. His personality is identical to level 1. His ideas are the same. His humor is the same. His character has not moved. But the way people receive him has shifted so dramatically that he sometimes wonders if he is the same person who walked into that first store in worn clothes. The conversations are different. People finish listening before they respond. They nod in specific places. When he makes a suggestion, it is considered rather than set aside. He starts to feel the physics of a room change when he enters it. Not dramatically, but enough. And then the requests start. Someone needs a favor. Someone wants an introduction. Someone has an opportunity they would like to discuss when he has a moment. The attention that felt like warmth begins to reveal its shape. It is not unconditional. It is investment. The people treating him well are treating him well because treating him well might pay off. And the discovery that kindness can be a strategy is one of the most quietly destabilizing realizations a person can have. He is being smiled at. He just does not always know why. Level 4. He looks wealthy. The world treats him like he is already right. Something fundamental changes at level 4. He walks into a room, and people assume he is competent. Not because he has demonstrated competence, because he looks like someone who has been rewarded for competence. The clothes, the car, the way he carries himself now that rooms have been receiving him well for long enough that he has internalized it. He takes up more space. His voice is slightly more certain, and rooms respond to certainty by making room for it. His opinions carry weight. The same observation that was politely ignored at level 1 is now written down at level 4. He has not gotten smarter. The idea has not changed, but the vessel delivering it looks different, and the world treats the vessel as evidence of the idea's value. He gets upgrades he did not ask for. Better rooms, better seats. Someone offers him something before he reaches the counter. The system begins anticipating him rather than processing him. And the experience of being anticipated, of the world moving slightly ahead of you to prepare, is one of the most quietly powerful feelings a person can have. But here is the crack in it. He starts to notice who is treating him well and why. He can see the calculation now. He has sat on the other side of it. He knows what functional respect looks like versus real respect. He knows when the smile reaches the eyes and when it stops at the mouth. And at level 4, he meets a lot of smiles that stop at the mouth. He is valued, but he is not always known. And the difference between being valued and being known is the difference between comfort and connection. Level 5. He looks rich. The world treats him like a weather system. At this level, something changes that cannot be undone. He does not walk into rooms anymore. Rooms adjust to him walking in. It is not dramatic. It is not a movie entrance. It is subtler than that and more total.
The staff member who is helping someone else finds a reason to become available. The conversation that was happening nearby gets slightly quieter. The energy of the space reorganizes around his presence before he has said a single word. People are careful around him now. Careful in the specific way of people who understand that the wrong impression could cost them something real. The service is flawless. The attention is absolute. Every need is met before it is expressed. And beneath all of it is a current of calculation so smooth it has been polished into something that resembles genuine care. He receives the best of everything. The best table, the best service, the best product, the best terms. Institutions that spent 4 levels processing him are now competing for his attention. The bank that charged him overdraft fees at level 1 is now calling to introduce him to a private advisor. The restaurant that seated him near the kitchen at level 1 has a table reserved for him before he arrives. Nothing about him changed. The number changed, and the number rewrote how every system in the world decides to treat him. But something else happens at level 5 that the lower levels do not prepare him for. He is lonely in rooms full of people. Not obviously, not in a way anyone around him would notice or believe. But the specific loneliness of never being quite sure which people in the room are there for him and which are there for what he represents follows him into
every space. He can feel it most clearly in the moments when the performance slips, when someone forgets to be careful and lets something real through. Those moments are the ones he values most, because they are the ones that remind him that real is still possible. He has everything, and he is still looking for the thing that money cannot seem to locate. The world treats him like he matters enormously. He is still deciding if any of it means what it looks like it means. And this is the truth that every level of wealth eventually delivers. The treatment was never about him. Not at level 1 when they watched him like a risk. Not at level 3 when they smiled like an investment. Not at level 5 when they performed like he was royalty. Every version of the treatment was about what people believed he could do for them or to them. What he wore was a signal, and the world responded to the signal, not the man. Which means the most expensive thing he owns is not his car or his house or his account balance. It is the clarity to know which rooms are responding to him and which rooms are responding to what he looks like. Because that clarity, that ability to see through the performance to what is real, is the one thing money can buy you the context to understand, but cannot actually give you. You have to find that yourself. Subscribe. Every video on this channel shows you exactly what changes at every level of every system you move through. The next one might be the one that shifts how you see all of it.